Hey guys, so I decided to film just like an everyday spring look, and I decided to do a voiceover just because I felt like it would be quicker, but we'll get right into it, I guess. So I started by prepping my eye with the Makeup Revolution eyeshadow primer, and I just grabbed like a small version of a big kabuki brush, I guess. I'm not sure what the name of these brushes are, to be honest, but I just blend everything in and buff everything out. And then I just take my Jawbreaker palette by Jeffree and I grab the shade Virgin. I pack it onto a fluffy brush and then I just pack it onto my lid. And this is going to create a really smooth base for whatever shades you decide to use. And it's also going to set your primer so that it's not super sticky. In some cases it's good to have it sticky, but in this case I kind of wanted it to be matte and ready to go. And then I just take the shade Gumdrop from the same palette. It's a super pretty lilac color. I picked it because, of course, it's perfect for spring. And that's going to go all over my crease. So because I have hooded eyes, I tend to put it a little bit above my crease just so you're able to see the color. And I go in multiple times just to make sure that the shade is really on there and it's vibrant. As you can tell, I had like a little bit of a splotch, I guess. I lost my train of thought for that word, but I just went back and applied a little bit more shadow. Okay, as you can see, I did my other eye off camera, but now I'm going in with the shade Bubblegum from the same palette, and I'm going to put this on my upper crease just to blend out the purple. I was really, like I said, going for some pastel vibes, so I just did that. After I apply a good amount of that shade Bubblegum, I go back in with the brush that I used to apply Virgin and I just go over just to make sure that it's blended. And then I go back in with the brush that I used for Bubblegum just to intensify the color a little bit more. Okay, so now we move on to foundation, and I just I actually forgot to wet my beauty blender, so I just wet it with some setting spray, and I take my Becca Ultimate Coverage concealer foundation in, what color am I? Oh, Shell. In Shell, and I just apply it all over my face. So you'll be able to see that I'm actually very red in the face. So when I apply this foundation, it just evens me out perfectly. And that's why I love it. And the coverage is amazing. So, and you can see right there that, like, the difference between my cheeks and my nose and forehead, it's crazy. So this foundation is like top notch, the best, and I completely recommend it. So now that we're done with that, I go in with my concealer. And I don't really have a problem with dark circles, but this concealer is just so flawless. It's the best, and it's like $7. It's by Makeup Revolution. I use the lightest shade because I'm a pasty bitch. And it's really good. It's pretty comparable to the Tarte Shape Tape. And it's like a fraction of the price. So I recommend this one as well. You can get it at Ulta, or I think, no, just Ulta actually. And I apply this concealer under my eye. I apply a strip on my nose, my forehead, and then on the side of my mouth and my chin. And blend it all out. And I don't know why I keep doing that. Okay, but we're just gonna roll with it. Now that we have all of that blended out, I go in with my favorite setting powder, and it smells, I love the smell. I just think it just reminds me of Tita, like I love it. And I go and I bake my under eye. Well, I bake everywhere that I have concealer, but I mainly focus on my under eye. And that's just the first part of baking. Now I go in with a different baking powder, which, okay, when I was looking at myself in the camera, everything was flipped in reverse. And then now that I'm watching this, I realize that you can actually read it. But anyway, I go in with the Everyday Vacay setting powder from Ciate. And I got this in a boxy charm, I think. And I actually really, really liked it. It smells like coconuts. It's amazing. So now moving on to my under eyes. I don't typically put eyeliner in my waterline because my eyes are just so freaky watery. But I'm going in with the Colourpop cream gel liner in Crybaby, which is fitting because I'm such a crybaby. Then I go back in with the shade Gumdrop from the same Jeffree palette, and I just set the eyeliner. Now I'm just going in with the fluffy brush, just blending it out. And then I'm going to grab the same flat definer brush, and I'm going in with bubblegum, and I'm putting it into my inner corner. I don't know why I sounded like a robot, but... And then I go ahead and just take my fluffy brush and just brush off all the excess setting powder that I had and any fallout that I may have had from the eyeshadow. And we jump into bronzer. So I'm using the bronzer from Fenty Beauty in Shady Biz. Honestly, I really, really love this bronzer. And what I do is I use a fluffy brush, but I pinch it first to really get it on my like contour, because I don't contour. I just kind of apply my brush specifically, if that makes any sense. So I just go in ham sandwich with this bronzer. So then I do the same pinching technique for my nose and just apply my bronzer kind of sparingly. I don't like, a harsh contour. I just kind of like for certain places to look darker, nothing fancy. And then we go in with blush, and I'm using a blush from a limited edition Patrick Star collection. And I actually hardly ever use this blush, but I wanted something more pinky. And I liked it. And then I go in with the Coty Airspun just to really like chisel it out. I know I said I don't like a harsh contour, but I like for it to look clean cut. So I leave this on for about 5 minutes or so, or actually for as long as it takes me to do my brows, which is like 3 hours. But now we're jumping into brows. So I use the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in Auburn, and I just apply a little bit on my hand and kind of warm up the product with the brush. And then I go in and I brush all my hairs up, and then I start to draw the underline to begin a definition. And then I like to brush all my hairs down and just to kind of see where the top of my brow line is. And then I connect the lines and fill it in. Okay, so the front is where it starts to get a little tricky just because I'm so specific about my brows, and usually it never comes out exactly how I want it. But in the front, I try to just do upward motions just to mimic the look of hairs. And I like to go in with very, very light strokes and very little product because when it comes to brows, I've learned that less is more. So I'm actually going to do the other brow off camera because forget it, we'll be here for another 60 years. But whenever I have both of them on, then I'll go in with my gel from Anastasia in the shade Auburn, and I'll put the majority of the product on the ends of my brows and then disperse it. Yes, of course, that always happens to me. I'll disperse it to the front lightly and in upward motion. So this is around the time that I start to set my powders into place, and first I take the Mario Badescu, I believe it's the lavender facial spray, and then I go in with the Jeffree Star collab with Morphe setting spray, and it smells delicious. It smells like strawberries, and it's super, super good. So now I'm going to take the Morphe and Jeffree collab palette. So good. Like everything I'm using is Jeffree and I love it. And I'm going to go in with the shade 2 and just highlight my inner corner and my brow bone. Now I'm going to go in with the Fenty Beauty Matchstick in Unicorn just to set down a sticky tacky base for my highlight. Honestly, I don't really like this product, but I do like the foundation it gives for when I go in with my favorite highlight, which is the Jeffree Star Wet Dream Super Frost or Supreme Frost. It's French kiss. Oui, oui. Now I just realized that I said wet dream and I meant to say diamond wet. Oh my god, seriously. Get it together, Ceci. So after I apply highlight, I just like to go back in with my blush brush and make sure that everything is nice and diffused. And then we're going to jump into liquid eyeshadow. But first, we got to curl them lashes. So now we jump into the liquid eyeshadow, and I'm using the Cover FX Shimmer Veil in Celestial. And I'll apply a good chunk on the base of my lashes, and then I'll look up. And that way I can see where my crease is. And because I have hooded eyes, I always put it just a little bit above. And I'll apply my first base or layer with the brush, and then I'll put some in the back of my hand, and I'll go in with a flat brush, and I'll really pack on the color and really define the lines. So I don't like for the edge of the eyeshadow to look too harsh, so I'll go back and forth between the brush and my finger to really diffuse it out and blend it out, and then I'll go in with the same brush that I used to apply the lilac, and I will pat it in, and I really just like for it to look super diffused. So now that we have both eyes done, we're ready for lashes. And this is honestly my favorite part because I absolutely love lashes. And I really love Kiss lashes too. These are the Kiss Lash Couture in the style Chiffon. This is nothing too in-depth on how I apply lashes. It's just kind of a quick rundown of how I do it. It usually doesn't take me very long. Right now I'm using the House of Lashes lash glue, but Duo is probably the best of the best. I kind of just go back and forth and make sure that everything looks very natural, because that's very important to me when it comes to lashes, is for it to look as natural as possible. So lately, because I've been doing a lot of makeup looks, I haven't been applying mascara on my top lashes, but I do apply on my bottom just because I need some definition down there because honestly, my lower lashes are whack. But this mascara is super, super good. It's the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I think I've gone through like 20 tubes of this mascara, and I have 2 on the way because this one is dry. Alright guys, so now we get into lippy, and I don't know who I think I am throwing gang signs, but like I said, we're just rolling with this. So we're using the combination of Prom Night, a liquid lipstick by Jeffree Star, and the gloss by Jeffree Star as well in Sorcery. Guys, honestly, it takes me like 30 minutes. Okay, I lie. It takes me like 10 minutes to do my lips because I was not blessed with beautiful full lips. I so badly want lip injections, but I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it. But it really does take me a long time to really get my lips perfect. And you'll see where right now that I'm applying my lipstick, like I'll go back and forth and up and down, and I'll really check like 360 to make sure that my lips look perfect. Okay, so here I felt like I needed a little bit more blush, but you'll be able to tell right now that I instantly regretted it. Like, it was way too much. I don't know what I was thinking. It would really be awesome if my makeup did take me 20 minutes, but in reality, this video was an hour and 45 minutes long. Crazy ridiculous, I know, but it's okay. So, in a minute, we'll be doing my hair. So I'm going to show you guys how I put on my wig. I don't do anything fancy, honestly. I may put on a wig cap if I'm going to wear this out. But, and also, side note, I was talking through this whole end of it, but then I realized it was taking me way too long to edit, one, and two, the video was like 45 minutes long. So I just did a voiceover over this as well. And what I do is I put my hair up into like a ponytail kind of, and I tighten it, and I make sure all my little baby hairs are as far back as possible. Like, I don't do anything fancy. I don't even put hairspray, especially when it's just for pictures. So then here I grab my wig, I flip it over, and then I just dunk my head in there and took all the hair inside. Okay, so here I just make sure that all my little baby hairs are tucked in and that everything is aligned. I don't even tape down the sides, to be honest. I just make sure everything is tucked in. Honestly, I wish I could get it laid down professionally, but I just use these wigs for fun. But I just make sure that everything is, like I said, tucked in. And I grab a little brush and just extra tuck in my little baby hairs because they're so stubborn. Honestly, I take a shot for every time I say tuck in. And let me know how drunk you get, okay? Now we're just gonna apply gloss, and you can see that I get so extra sassy when I apply this gloss. I don't know what it is about gloss that just does that to me. But now we're gonna jump into the regular video, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it.
But yeah, I mean, there's nothing to wearing a wig, to be honest. And as long as you're okay with wearing them and you're like, you know what, everyone knows what my natural hair looks like. Everyone knows I don't have 22-inch hair. I wear it for fun. It's fun. So don't be afraid to wear them. And there's even cheaper ones on Amazon that don't have the lace front. I just like the lace front because that way if you wanted to, which I didn't do anyway, but if you wanted to, you could have adjusted you could have plucked out the hairline and stuff. But that is the end of this video, and I'm glad. I hope you liked it. And if you guys want or have any ideas for future videos, if you want me to do any, because I'm going to be stuck here since we're not going to go back to work all of April. I'm going to be stuck at home, so I might as well get, put out some content that people like to watch. If you have any ideas or if you have any questions, like if you want me to make a video, I don't know, putting on eyelashes to teach you guys, like I can totally do that. I have the time. Yeah, just I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks. Bye.